We get closer to the November election. Debates between you and your friends may start to heat up.
So what should we do when everyone we know starts to voice their opinions? Well, etiquette expert Sharon Schweitzer joins us right now to talk about this U.S. political politeness and how not to get into confrontations with those folks that we respect and want to maintain relationships with.
That's right. Maintaining those relationships is so important. And the bottom line is, Neo, respect. You know, we're all culturally conditioned, and we all recognize respect, whether we're from the U.S. or another country, and we know respect when we see it. So when we're going to have a discussion, or whether we're going to step away and bow out of a discussion, we want to do that with respect.
Well, speaking of respect, I was going to say, I know we've got some tips that we're going to actually break down because this is such a wide topic of things. I mean, from social networking to friends that are being pushy. So let's take a look at a few of the things that we do want to talk about here today. And I know one of your first topics is how do you have the conversation when someone asks you, you know, which party do you affiliate or what presidential candidate do you support? How do you handle it?
Well, I think the first thing you need to do, Natalie, is you need to make a decision. Do I want to even engage? And you need to make that decision early on. So let's say you don't want to engage and you decide you want to keep your views private. Then you need to have some things in your toolkit. You need to decide what you're going to say. Are you going to say, you know, I prefer to keep my views private, but thank you for your interest. I appreciate that, and I wish you well with your political decisions this season. That way you thank them for their appreciation, you thank them for your interest, but you manage to keep your views private, and then segue to another topic.
And I'm glad that we're talking about this because the candidates and the topics on the political platform today have become mainstream conversation. And it seems that whether you're at a coffee shop or you're at a birthday party, they seem to pop up.
They do. And they pop up everywhere. You're right. Parties, social media, everywhere. Let's say you do have someone who is like an Energizer bunny, and they keep coming at you, and they want to talk about politics. What you can do with that is segue to another topic. Say to them, you know, we're at a cocktail party, or we're at a birthday party, and, you know, I really don't want to talk politics here, but I appreciate your interest. I understand your daughter got accepted to Florida State. Congratulations. Tell me more about that. And I understand your son was accepted to the University of Florida. That is fantastic. Let's talk about that. So well, segue to something.
And I was going to say, this is the perfect time to bring up this awesome idea of segue, which literally Democratic Party, Republican Party, or cocktail party. So I think that's a pretty safe way. Now, are you saying we should just wear this around all the time, or how can we remember this and use this at the times that are necessary?
Well, we have some tips that you can find on the website. The other thing you can do is just kind of make a decision as to what you're comfortable with. You may want to engage in conversation, and a lot of people do want to have conversations. The best thing you can do if you do want to talk politics is educate yourself. Do some research, because you can be a cheerleader for democracy as long as you're respectful and you're engaging in conversations and you understand the issues. That's fantastic. Go ahead and be a cheerleader for democracy, because it does increase people voting, and that's important in the U.S.
And I mean, and if you're not that educated, I guess we can always talk about Trump's hair, which seems to be a popular topic, right?
That's right.
See, he said it, I didn't. Well, speaking of Trump's hair, we've got an article here with Trump. What were some of the tips that you shared in this?
Okay, this was an article about how to handle things on social media, how to handle different issues as they arise. Let's say you're on social media, you're tweeting, or you're on Facebook, and someone really starts engaging with you. One of the best things you can do is step away, take a breath, maybe go meditate, or walk around the block. Take the high road. You may not want to engage.
Is there a way to de-escalate a situation by simply typing an LOL or a laughing emojicon or something like this?
Yes, absolutely. That's the best thing you can do. LOL, ha ha, you know, one of the little emoticons, and step back, because you don't want to engage with them. Sometimes people just do it to see if they can get a rise out of you.
Right.
So that's great advice.
Well, and our time's unfortunately running out, but I do want to ask this really quickly. When it does come to social networking, do you suggest sharing your views or maybe keeping those views off Facebook and Twitter? What's just a good rule of thumb for all of us to keep in mind?
I think the good rule of thumb is to be authentic to yourself and make a decision. Do you want to be a political animal? If you are a political animal, you need to be ready. People are going to either mute you, unfollow you, or they may unfriend you, and that can be kind of tough. So you see a lot of people sticking to faces and pets and friendly things on Facebook.
Great advice.
I'll say I like keeping it friendly. Thank you so much. These were great tips. We really appreciate your time today.
My pleasure. Thank you, Natalie. And
You are so welcome.
Leo, for having me on.
Thank you.